Today, I'm going to be showing you some of the most iconic flips in Spider-Man's arsenal. And by the end of this, you're going to be doing flips off of everything you see with no issue. And by the way, make sure you watch to the end because the last trick I'm going to teach you is going to be this. But to start off, we're going easy, so the very first trick I'm going to teach you is the front handspring. The front handspring isn't necessarily a flip in the same sense as some of the other ones, but it's a lot easier than all of the other ones since you do use your hands, so I'm going to teach it first. So you get into the front handspring, you're going to run, and you're going to skip on your non-dominant leg. Then you're going to step on your dominant leg while placing both hands on the ground. To progress into the flip part, you're going to pop off your shoulders to get that kind of spring motion. From there, you're going to have to try and not land on your ass. For this reason, I do recommend that you learn on some kind of mat. A trampoline works fine as well, it just might be a little more difficult. If you don't have access to a trampoline or a parkour gym, then your best bet is like an old mattress or something like that, or even a sand pile. This is one of the easier flips on the list, but as a beginner you have to understand it might take you a while to get, so don't get frustrated if you don't get it first try. Now next up is something Spider-Man actually uses a lot with taking all of those big landings, and that's the shoulder roll. This trick isn't that cool or flashy, but it is the key to jumping off of high objects without hurting yourself, as well as saving yourself when you're doing other flips. To share the most recent story of this trick saving my life, this is a couple weeks ago. I was trying to do a flip, or I was trying to do a jump rather, just between two objects, just doing parkour. I was jumping off of something that was probably like 4 or 5 feet onto another object that was like 3 feet-ish. I made the jump and I landed perfectly on it, except my left foot was just a tad bit too short, so it landed on the block, then it slipped right off, causing me to start falling forward off of this 3-foot block towards my face. If I hadn't known the shoulder roll, I don't know what would have happened. Maybe I would have been lucky and just gravity would have forced me into the roll, but since I do know a shoulder roll, I was able to just pop right into the roll and I was fine. Anyway, to get into the shoulder roll, first you're going to make a diamond with your hands, then you're going to place that diamond on the ground and roll over the meaty part of your dominant shoulder. Repeat this until you have it perfect. I recommend taking a video of yourself and then comparing it to others online. This trick may seem kind of trivial and you may think you have it when you actually don't, because beginners a lot of the time tend to have really bad form with these, and having really bad form with this could lead to you getting injured a lot if you actually try to use it jumping off of something tall. Now, as I said, this trick can be used to break falls, but it can also be used to save yourself when you're falling out of a flip, when you're falling towards your face especially. The backflip's probably the most popular acrobatic stunt of all time, and as such, Spider-Man is known for popping these all the time. Now this one's probably going to take quite a while to learn, so I advise you learn it at like a parkour gym or a gymnastics gym. The biggest prerequisite to this trick, or a movement you should know beforehand, is the Makaku. This is a good progression because it has the same kind of backwards motion, and you can use your familiarity with this trick to kind of get you into doing a backflip easier. You're going to start by crouching down just like this, then you're going to take your dominant hand and reach it back, making sure your other hand is not angled towards you because this will prevent you from doing the movement. Now pop off of your legs and let that hand carry through. To start this, you can go extremely over your side, and people with not a lot of acrobatic experience might not get it first try, but once you get comfortable doing this, you're going to gradually invert more and more until you're doing an actual backwards motion and you're going like over your shoulder. Once you have this comfortable, you're going to take away that hand. If you don't have access to a gym, and I mean like literally if you live in the middle of nowhere, don't just take this as an excuse not to go to the gym. If you have a parkour gym or a gymnastics gym, then go to it. But if you don't, your best bet is probably just to take out all your pillows and then just put them on your trampoline. Make sure you change your pillowcases though when you come back inside, you nasty freak. Anyway, now you're going to start taking over that hand, looking over your shoulder, and throwing the arms back to mimic the motion of the Makaku. You're going to follow the same process of slowly inverting as you get more comfortable with the motion until you're going over your head. This process takes a very long time, and it's important that you do not rush it as a beginner because this is how you get hurt. So just make sure you're training with the proper precautions. Make sure you have like a mat of some kind. Now is the front flip. This one's a favorite of not only Spider-Man, but also stupid drunk people at parties. You see them on Instagram a lot, knocking the wind out of themselves doing this. So for this move, we're actually going to be practicing the one leg variant of the front flip, which is called the Webster. This might seem kind of counterintuitive, but the truth is the one-legged version of the front flip is actually way easier for most people because you're using the leg you're not standing on to kick and give you momentum toward like going forward. So this is going to make it easier to flip over. So you're going to start by standing on one leg, and then you're going to kick your non-dominant leg forwards and swing it back so that it makes like a kind of 90-degree angle with the ground, as you can see here. It doesn't have to be that high, but that's kind of the highest most people can get it because you kind of want to maximize the height of that kick so you can get a lot of momentum. Then you're going to throw your arms down so that they mirror your kicking leg. They should be going in unison. And then you're going to flip through by tucking your knees in and land on your feet. The margin for error here is way smaller than that of a backflip. So if you're athletic, you're kind of good to practice this on a mattress or a trampoline. The one thing about this trick though is gaining enough strength from your legs to flip over and getting enough power out of that kick. So if you have a background in martial arts, this is going to be a lot easier for you. For the majority of people, including myself, it's easier to run into this using what's called a gather step. So you're going to jump from your dominant leg onto your non-dominant leg and then step into the flip like this. From there, it's the exact same motion as what I just taught you. Now, this last trick I'm about to teach you is by far the coolest. You saw it in the beginning, but given how cool it is, it's also very dangerous. So for this one, I highly advise that you learn this at a parkour gym or a gymnastics gym. It's just a lot safer. But I won't dwell on that anymore because I know if you're set on doing stuff, unsafe, then you're just gonna do it. So, who am I to stop you? Most of my audience is American. We have freedom, at least for now. So the hero flip, or what I would call a strafe gainer, is a variation of a backflip in which you jump off of one leg, usually off of an object. To do this, you're gonna want to have your backflip down pat first. So you're gonna want to make sure that you refer to the backflip and you have it down perfect. Now that you know how to do that, I'm gonna assume you're familiar with going backwards, and I'm gonna teach the movement. You're gonna start by learning what's called the J step. You're gonna take one step forward, pivot, and take another step to the side. As you can see, it's called a J step because it makes the shape of a J, but not really if you think about it, because a J curves a lot more than that, but whatever. I didn't name it. I don't know. Take it up with whoever. Anyway, once you take that second step, you're going to use your dominant leg as your kicking leg and kick it up. Ideally, you want your leg to be just below your waist height. Same thing with Webster. And you're going to swing your arms so that they mimic the motion of the kicking leg, peaking at around a 70-degree angle when your leg hits its peak. Once here, you're going to tuck both legs and treat it like a regular backflip. Once you have this down, you're going to take it to a height. Start on a very low object, no more than a foot off the ground, and you're going to practice flipping off the edge of the object and moving sideways so that you don't clip it. If you want to do this from standing, that's fine. I find it easier. I just taught you from J-step because if you're doing it on the flat ground, that's a lot easier than actually just standing into it. Flipping from a height introduces a lot of new challenges that you wouldn't ordinarily get just flipping from the ground, which is why you need to watch this video here that's all about flipping off of objects.